Welcome to the Build Your Private Practice podcast, a space for Canadian therapists who want to support others, make an impact, and build a sustainable practice that works for them too. I'm your host, Leanne Wood, a registered psychotherapist, group practice owner, and business mentor, and I'm here to help you build a private practice that allows you to keep doing the work you love without burning out. Because the people who need your help the most are counting on you, and you deserve a practice that supports you while you support them. Let's dive in. Hi there. This episode is brought to you by Jane Websites, an online platform that helps you build your website in minutes. If building a website has been sitting on your to-do list for a little too long, I get it. It can feel overwhelming, but Jane Websites really does make it easy, and I promise there are no tech skills required. Their AI-supported builder helps you create a professional modern site that reflects your clinic beautifully. From there, you are in control. Customize pages and easily edit or update your content anytime. And if you ever get stuck, Jane's friendly support team is there to guide you so you're never doing it alone. You can get started by heading to janewebsites.com/Leanne, Liane, and don't forget to use my code BYPP1MO for a free month on your new website. Welcome to the Build Your Private Practice podcast, a space for Canadian therapists who want to support others, make an impact, and build a sustainable practice that works for them too. I'm your host, Leanne Wood, registered psychotherapist, group practice owner, and business mentor, and I'm here to help you build a private practice that allows you to keep doing the work you love without burning out. Because the people who need your help the most are counting on you, and you deserve a practice that supports you while you support them. So I want to start today with something that might feel very familiar, and it's this sense of trying really hard to grow your practice, but not feeling like anything is actually clicking. Like you're doing the things, you're putting yourself out there, you're trying different approaches, but there's this underlying feeling of, I don't actually know what's working. And because of that, everything can start to feel a little bit scattered. And when I look at this pattern across so many therapists, there's one thing that is consistently showing up, and it's this: trying too many things at once. That's the biggest mistake I see when it comes to client attraction. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because there's no clear strategy guiding what you're doing. So let me paint you a picture of what this often looks like, because you might hear yourself in this. You're posting, but it's inconsistent. You'll post a few times, then stop for a bit, then come back to it, then stop again. You're tweaking your niche, maybe every few weeks or every couple of months. And you're thinking, should I focus on this population instead? Maybe I should change how I describe what I do. You're trying different strategies, maybe Instagram, maybe networking, maybe directories, maybe something else, but you're not totally sure what is actually bringing people to your practice. And when you step back and look at it, it doesn't feel like a strategy. It feels more like trying, adjusting, trying something else, starting over. And underneath that, there's usually this quiet thought of, I just need to figure out what works. But here's the part I want to offer you. This isn't happening because you're doing something wrong. This is happening because you don't have something to follow. You don't have a clear strategy. So your brain is doing what it thinks makes sense, which is try things, see what happens, adjust. But the problem is when there's no structure underneath that, it turns into a loop. Trial and error, second guessing, starting over. And because you're not staying with anything long enough, or refining anything with intention, nothing has the chance to actually work. And this is really an important moment to pause, because I want you to notice this doesn't mean you're not capable. And it doesn't mean your marketing isn't working. It means your effort isn't being supported by a system. Your brain is trying to solve uncertainty. It's thinking, if I just find the right strategy, everything will click. So you keep searching, you keep adjusting, you keep looking for the thing that's going to fix it. What actually works is much simpler than that. And I don't mean easier, I mean simpler. But it comes down to a few key things. Number one is clear positioning. So it's obvious who you help, what you help them with, why they would choose to work with you. Not something that's constantly shifting, not something you're reworking every few weeks, but something stable enough that people can actually recognize and remember you for it. Because if your positioning keeps changing, your audience never really gets to understand, oh, this is who this person is for. And that creates inconsistency right away. The second piece is consistent messaging, not saying something completely different every time you show up, not reinventing how you talk about your work every week, but repeating, refining, and reinforcing the same core ideas. And I know this is where therapists often think, but I don't want to sound repetitive. But repetition is actually what builds clarity for your audience and for you. The third piece is having a repeatable system. So you're not waking up every day thinking, what should I do to get clients? You already know, you have a rhythm, you have a process, you have something you can come back to. And when you have those three things, positioning, messaging, and system, you stop jumping from one thing to the next. But there's one more piece that matters just as much. And this is the one that most therapists don't have when they're doing this alone. And that's feedback. Because without feedback, you don't know what's working, what's not, and what just needs a small adjustment. So everything feels like a guess. And when everything feels like a guess, it's really hard to stay consistent because you're constantly thinking, should I keep doing this or should I try something else? And that's how you end up back in that loop of trying everything, second guessing, and starting over. But this is where things start to shift. And I see this happen so frequently. When therapists stop trying everything and start focusing on what actually works, it looks like choosing a direction and staying with it. Repeating your message, even when it feels simple. Following a system, even when it's not exciting, and refining instead of restarting. And I want to say this part too because it matters. This phase where you're trying a lot of things and nothing feels clear, it can feel really discouraging. It can feel like I should have figured this out by now. But again, this is not a personal failure. This is what happens when you don't have clarity, structure, and support. If I could simplify this whole message into one idea, it would be this. Client attraction doesn't come from doing more things. It comes from doing the right things consistently and refining them over time. And this is exactly what we focus on inside Accelerate Your Practice. Not adding more strategies, but helping you clarify your position, simplify your messaging, build a repeatable system, and actually understand what's working so you can stop guessing and start building something that feels steady and sustainable. So if you recognize yourself in this, if you feel like you've been trying a lot of things but nothing feels consistent yet, I invite you to take a breath. You don't need more strategies. You need more clarity around what's already in front of you. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Build Your Private Practice podcast. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love it if you would hit subscribe, share it with another therapist who might need to hear this. And if you're ready for more support, head over to our website, buildyourprivatepractice.ca, for tools, resources, and next steps. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Build Your Private Practice podcast. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a fellow Canadian therapist who needs this. And remember, the work you do matters. Keep showing up, keep holding space, and keep building a practice that works for you. If you're looking for practical tools or support to grow your practice with more clarity and confidence, head to buildyourprivatepractice.ca. There's lots waiting for you there. I'll see you next time.